gentlemen. My name is Duncan Berry. I'm the chair of the Harwich Planning Board. Welcome to Tuesday, September 23rd, Harwich Planning Board meeting in Town Hall. I would like to declare the meeting open at 6:31. According to Mass General Law, anyone who intends to record the meeting must first notify the chair, who will then inform other attendees. Does anybody intend to record? Okay, nobody's going to record. I would like to invite everybody to stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you very much. We have a truncated meeting this evening with some delays and what have you, which we will get to later to announce. We're going to start the meeting this evening with the public meeting section, PB 2025-25, Town of Harwich, Town Administration, request a waiver from site plan review special permit pursuant to the Harwich Code Section 325-55F. The proposed project is to develop a water pump station as part of the Harwich Phase 3A sewer project. The application is pursuant to the Code of Harwich Sections 325-51 and 325-55F and Mass General Law Chapter 40A Section 9. Location is 15 Wales Road, Harwich, Massachusetts, Assessors Map 73, Parcel F1-78 in the Rural Residential Zoning District and the Six Ponds Special District. Documents relating to the case above are on file with the Planning Department and Town Clerk and may be viewed on the Planning Board website. Good evening, gentlemen. Thank you for joining us this evening.
Thank you. Well, thank you for hearing us tonight. As you know, we've a lot of sewer projects that are going on around town. This is in our effort to continue to that effort, even though it's not a large part when you think of the overall aspects of it, but obviously this particular hearing is important as we get ready to submit our state revolving fund package here in a few weeks. So with us, we have representatives from GHD, Brendan.
Nowakowski.
How do you say that?
Nowakowski. Yep.
And we have Elizabeth Cheeseman on the go-to meeting should we need her. So I'll hand it off to Brendan just to give a quick overview of what we're looking at, and then obviously answer any questions the planning board members may have for us.
Thank you, sir.
So yeah, we're here to talk about the Phase 3 sewer project, specifically the pump station, seeking a plan view waiver, site plan review waiver for that station, that site in particular. So that it's continuation of, of other projects within the town to address phosphorus loading from septic systems. The site itself includes a submersible pump station, well, so, and it has backup generator and then an electrical enclosure. Its height's about 10 foot, 7 inches roughly. And then buried vault and meter and associated piping. So requesting the waiver because the site plan has not substantially changed the relationship between of the structure and the site and the abutting property. So, and I believe you folks have reviewed this, received this morning some notice about that as well. So I'm here to answer any questions they may have.
Very good. Christine.
All right, thank you, Mr. Chair. So I would agree that given that this is part of an ongoing sewering project, that I would recommend that the planning board waive site plan review for the following reasons. That this has been an essential infrastructure project for the town. It's been vetted at town meeting as well as other planning phases of the comprehensive wastewater management plan and the capital outlay plan. The project addresses phosphorus in mitigating those issues, particularly in the Joseph's Pond, Bucks Pond, and Kitty's Pond, as well as the Sand Lake Pond, Sand Lake Lake. Sorry. And, pursuant to Section 325-55F, the town, part of site plan review is to waive to examine potential impacts to the neighborhood as well as other abutters. This project is located on conservation property. In the water pump station is only going to be 61 square feet, so it's no, I mean, I've seen sheds larger than what's being proposed here. And for those reasons, I do feel that the Water and Wastewater Department, as well as administration, have taken steps to minimize any potential impacts while respecting the wetlands to the south of the property. The water pump station is on 15 Wales Road, which is in East Harwich. The town has taken steps, again, to be very sensitive to the neighbors and to mitigate any potential impacts. So therefore, I would recommend the waiver.
Thank you very much. Do we have any questions from the board for the applicant? None? I just have one question. What is the surface elevation of the superstructure of the pump house?
Surface, I don't know if it's on our plans or not, might have to,
The
or do you have it listed?
height, sorry.
Yes, thank you.
The height of the electrical enclosure is about 10 feet 6 inches,
Okay,
and the actual wet well and meter vault are only about 6 inches above grade.
okay. Very good.
The other item that's above grade is a generator,
Yes,
which would have a noise canceling enclosure
Just trying
when
to,
it's running.
okay, thank you. Just trying to follow this. How far off is it from the road? What's from the curb to the station?
From the edge of pavement to the
facade, the front.
right of way is about 9 feet 6 inches, and the generator is a little bit into the right of way.
So it's very close to, off
3 or
the
4
road.
feet into the right of way.
Okay, so it's very close to the road, and then reading the conservation, that's because it's very close to conservation land in the back, is that why?
That is correct.
Okay.
And
We're trying to stay out of the 50-foot buffer.
It's a 50-foot buffer because it's not really wetlands, it's buffer land, is that correct?
So we are, it is buffer land. So
It's not
I
wetlands,
can,
it's buffer.
am I able to share my screen or?
Yeah,
Yeah, there's wetlands on
I
the
need
property, but yeah,
to-
we're inside of the 50-foot buffer from the wetlands, though. So there's nothing inside in the wetland area, but inside of the 50-foot buffer, though.
Correct.
Yeah, so, we're outside, just outside, so that's why I squeezed it close to the road, is to stay away from that.
okay, so that's why it moved forward, and that's why
Oh, here
you
we
put the
go.
rocks in between?
Yeah, so Liz is pulling it up here.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
So
here, too.
are you able to see my screen?
Yes,
Yes.
Seem to blow it up.
Okay. So on the bottom part of the screen is it was the actual wetland line. And
Oh, that's the wetland.
and then this is the 50-foot wetland buffer, is this line with the 2 dots.
yep.
Can't get close, can't see that one.
Oh, I can zoom in a little bit here. Is this better?
Yep,
Very clear.
Okay. And then this is the 60-foot buffer. And then there's actually another 100-foot buffer, which is out
Right.
this way
okay.
here. So, and we, so we are, I'm going to zoom back out a little bit. So from the wetland line to the wet well is about 52 feet.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, just made it, okay.
So Liz, can you also just mention the Concom condition? I think those circles, are those the boulders that that Concom asked us to
So-
put in, again, just to ensure we stayed outside.
Nice.
That's
Yes.
the purpose of the
So
boulders?
these are actually like 3-4-man boulders to help delineate the 50-foot buffer so that we, like you said, Tony, stay out of that area.
That was the CONSCOM request.
There was a condition that
Correct.
Conservation put on to put those boulders there to ensure that there was no encroachment, if you will, during the work into the 50-foot zone.
Just one final question, is there any screening going to be done, landscape screening?
This area is heavily wooded already, so we're only going to try and minimize the amount of trees taken during construction.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Ann. Any other questions from the board? This is not a public hearing, so there's no questions from the public, but, and there's no need to close the hearing. I think we're probably ready to take a vote unless there are any objections or any?
No.
All right. Would you like to take a whack at it?
Sure.
Great. I don't think we need findings of fact, do we? Just simply a motion
Because we're
to
saying we're not going to,
endorse?
Just a motion to endorse.
Okay.
Motion to endorse waiver from site plan review special permit pursuant to Harwich Code Section 325-55F for PB 2025-25.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
second?
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion passes unanimously. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you very much, everybody, and
Thank you, Ms. Cheeseman. Appreciate the insight.
Thank you so much.
thank you, Liz.
Thank you. We now move on to consideration of what happened at the truncated first part of our meeting. Public hearing continued from May 13th, June 10th, July 8th, August 26th for case PB 2025-11, SSH Port LLC, Robert C. DeMarco, manager, 1 Campanelli Drive, Braintree, Mass. 02184, through their agent Marion Rose Esquire, Singer and Singer Law Office, 26 Upper County Road in Dennis, seeks approval for a multifamily special permit and site plan review special permit with request for waivers. The proposed project is to construct a 28-unit multifamily structure and reconfigured parking. The application is pursuant to the Code of Harwich, Sections 325-51, 325-55, and Mass General Law, Chapter 48, Sections 9 and 11. Property is located at 606 Route 28, Assessors Map 14, Parcel Z18-2. The parcel is approximately 76,226 square feet. Parcel is in the Commercial Village, CV, and Residential Low Density, RL, zoning districts and within the Village Commercial Overlay District, VCOD. The applicant has requested a continuance to October 28th, 2025. I would like to make a motion that we continue this public hearing to October 28th, 2025, no earlier than 6:30 PM.
So moved.
We have a second. We have a motion. We have a second.
Second.
We have a second. Any further discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. That takes us to PB 2025-24, Tigger Realty Trust, Kenneth E. Eubanks trustee, through its agent BCS Group Incorporated, Brian G. Yergation, PE, seeks a special permit for site plan review. The proposed project is to remove any existing concrete pavement and structures in order to develop a new one-story steel building totaling 8,877 square feet with 25 parking spaces on site. The application is pursuant to the Code of the Town of Harwich, Section 325-51 and 325-55, and Mass General Law, Chapter 48, Section 9. Property is located at 237 Queen Anne Road, Assessors Map 58, Parcel N4-2-0, and is approximately 1.82 acres. Parcel is in the Industrial Limited IL zoning district. The applicant has requested to withdraw without prejudice. I would entertain a motion to withdraw PB 2025-24 without prejudice.
So moved.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes unanimously. I so declare it. We then move on to section Public meeting PB 2025-26, John Z. Demarest, Junior, PLS, Demarest Land Surveying Agent for St. Peter's Lutheran Church of Cape Cod, seeks an endorsement of an approval not required A&R plan entitled Plan of Land, prepared by Demarest Land Surveying, John Z. Demarest, Junior, PLS number 36859, dated 9/3/25, for the property at 310 Route 137, Assessors Map 105, parcels W1, W2, W3, and W4 in the Residential Rural Estate, RR zoning district, and the 6 Bond Special District, zones A and B. The applicant has requested an extension to October 14th, 2025. I would like to entertain a motion to extend public meeting PB 2025-26 to October 14th, 2025, no later than 6:30 PM.
So moved.
Second.
Motion second, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion is unanimous, I so declare it. Now we move on to case number PB 2025-21. Nicholas G. Mitchell III, landowner, plan of land in Harwich, Mass., prepared by Outermost Land Survey, Inc., dated June 11, 2025, seeks endorsement of an approval not required plan, A&R, of land to divide 2 lots into 3 lots, located at 246 Queen Anne Road, Assessors Map 58, parcels K10-2 to K6. The proposed parcels are approximately 22,251 square feet, 20,020 square feet, and 20,042 square feet. The parcels are in the Industrial Limited IL zoning district. Good evening.
Howdy, how are
How
you?
you doing? Good, how are you?
I'm doing well. I'm John Kanaga. I'm here on behalf of the applicant.
Okay.
The applicant's also here, and so is the engineer, if you need any questions.
Great. Would you like to
Well, I mean,
discuss
it's
with us the division?
No, it's not, I don't think
Or
we're
relearning.
rewriting any books here. It's just
Right.
2 lots into 3. They all meet the, your bulk and area requirements. There was some
Right.
intervening issues that we're fixing, and we're coming back to you with a site plan, a new site plan.
Okay.
But that has nothing to do with this. We understand the obligation to do that.
Okay.
So this is just an A&R plan.
Yes, and
Christine.
pursuant to sections, Mass General Law 41, Section 81L and 81M, and the Code of Harwich 400, Sections 8, 9, and 11, staff would recommend that the planning board endorse the A&R as proposed. And the proposal meets the minimum criteria of 100 feet lot frontage and the minimum lot size of 20,000 square feet in the industrial limited. So I would recommend endorsement for the A&R.
Great. Any questions from the board? Nothing? Very quiet, very smooth sailing this evening. We can fix it, we can mess it up if
Knocked
you
out.
want.
Is there wood?
Right, exactly.
Maybe.
So since we have no questions, I would suggest that we take the recommendation of the town planner and endorse the A&R for case number PB 2025-21.
So moved.
Second.
We have motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Nobody opposed? Unanimous, I so declare it. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Have a good evening.
Yeah, you too.
So that then takes us to final section, where we're going to discuss the comprehensive permit of Pine Oaks 4, draft planning with the memo that was drafted, I think, in July or something. It's been a while.
I
Right.
drafted it. It's in your packet.
Yep.
It is a bit of a summary from my my comments from last week. I will say, I did want to preface that in the letter, I want to espouse some sensitivity to the residents in the North Harwich area and the relative impacts, particularly in that neighborhood. And so I did try to couch comments within the letter to help address that and to convey that to the Zoning Board of Appeals. I think some of my comments were taken out of context relative to the comprehensive permit and at the last zoning board of appeals meeting, so I did want to just clarify that.
Okay.
In the letter, the draft letter should be in the packet, and I welcome any edits, and
Okay.
you can take a few moments, please take a few moments to review it.
Do we have should we resolve the editing this evening, or do you want to, should we submit edits by email, or do we want this?
It's up to, it's at your discretion what you think would be most efficient. I'm happy if you want to talk about it as a board, or if you want to just send edits and, have the board vote to have the chair have a final editing to sign off, or however you think is most appropriate.
Because, you know what, honestly, I got this, what was it, yesterday? And I need to go over this. I mean, I don't mean to belittle, in fact, it's because I want to make sure that we get the right
Tone.
deliberation, and I don't doubt your tone, but I think that's an important, element as well. So, shall we funnel any comments to you and then give it a deadline? Excuse me, we're having a deliberation. One moment, please.
That would be fine. I'd be happy to take any comments and to re-massage the draft letter.
Can we just summarize the purpose of our comments, right? This is,
So the planning board is in charge of site plan
Right.
review, parking, traffic, site design, any other implications to the neighborhood, lighting, landscaping,
Yep.
traffic. So anything within the planning board's purview, I think, is important to mention to the zoning board of appeals, particularly also stormwater and environmental impacts. So I did try to go over checkpoints for each of those issues and to highlight where the project has evolved and any further recommendations that were made, from the conservation agent as well as the town's peer review team, both VHB and TCR.
but in the point of comments, no one is required to take actions on our comments, correct?
That's correct. These are only recommendations or suggestions for the zoning board of appeals to consider.
And they were elicited by Mr. Sullivan, right? He was
Correct.
requesting our formal input, so this is
Formal
our
input,
yes.
chance to get into his process.
Yes,
So-
for the zoning board of appeals,
Right.
correct.
But the zoning, just in the 40B world, the zoning board of appeal doesn't have much they can do either.
They have a very limited scope
Right.
of conditioning a project, any comprehensive permit project. And
Right.
they are the only permitting authority at the town level. And where if this was a normal residential development,
Right.
it would have to go through various.
Completely understand. I'm just trying to make sure our comments and our edits are based on that,
Our limited scope.
this limited scope of conditions. Right?
Yes.
Okay.
So I would ask that we attend to this in the next 48 hours, and by no later than close of business Friday, submit any and all comments. After that time, it's moot, and you can redate it
Yeah.
as you see fit, okay?
And when do they go in? When's the next meeting?
The next, they're meeting tomorrow night, but they're not taking any public testimony.
Right.
It's to go over, to do internal administrative work. That's the responsibility of the board for the comprehensive permit. But you can submit the comments at any time.
How do you want them? Because this is usually you send us a PDF. Is this a,
I will send it in Word to everyone so that
Okay.
everyone can do track changes. And,
Great.
and that will also make it a little bit easier for me to follow the context. And I will then send it to the chair to have a final
Great.
review and have the chair sign it on
Perfect.
behalf of the board.
Great.
and just, you'll send a final to us, right?
Yes.
Perfect. Thank you.
So with that matter closed, yes, ma'am. Sorry, we had a process going here. We wanted to.
Couldn't hear what was going on. So I have a note
Yeah, could you sit up in front and announce your name and your address? That would, just to make it official. Thank you so much.
Celine Federici, 12 Wales Road,
Okay?
Harwich.
Yep.
So I received a notice about an abutters meeting, and FYI, it said it's at the Cultural Center on 263 South Street,
Right.
which I...
This is Town Hall on Main Street. 263
it's
South
South
is,
Street.
right, you have to go up around the corner across from the high school.
Anyway, I went for directions, and they said there's no such place. And I called...
If you, so do you use like a smartphone?
I did it on my computer. It said,
So you should do Harwich Community Center. That's correct, right?
So,
Go ahead.
if I might.
Yes, please, sorry.
The original, when we sent out the notices, at the time, we were still planning on meeting over at the 204
Oh, the
Cultural Arts
Cultural Center, yeah.
municipal building. And because the applicant had asked to postpone, we did put up notices
Okay.
to indicate that the meeting was going to, the planning board meeting was going to take place in the Griffin Room tonight.
Right.
And for future reference, the legal address of what's commonly called 204 Sisson Road is actually 263 South Street.
Right.
And legally, when we were doing the advertisements for the comprehensive permit, town council was very clear in instructing us that we had to use the legal address
Right.
that's on the assessing code.
I wish I could apologize more deeply and profoundly than I do right now, sorry.
but honestly, I went to directions, and I
Right.
put that in, and it said no such place. FYI, okay. Anyway, I'm here to find out what you have to say about, I live right across the street from where they're doing
Right.
the proposed, I think.
Water
it's
charging
proposed
station,
Pump
right.
station, yeah.
So the good news is you're at the right place at the right day. The bad news is the wrong time. We just finished that, and we just already voted to approve the town's request because of the nature of the request. So I wish you had been here maybe 24 minutes ago. We could have had you make your case to the board and to the town.
I don't have a case, I was just wondering what, I mean, other than it's wetland, so I don't understand why it would be built on wetlands.
Well, there's a buffer, then, and it has gone through the Conservation Committee and satisfied their strict demands that it exceed the 50-foot line, which it does by 2 feet, and there are boulders that are set up, and all precautions that you could imagine for an engineering point of view. I think we're satisfied and met and presented this evening, and I think you would have been happy to hear what they had to say about it. We were thrilled, so.
Okay, so my next, I got another thing from,
Okay.
well, because I don't want to have to come back. Select Board Administrator's Office, certified mail, October 1, Town of Harwich. The activity is the installation of the pumping station. Okay, so is that still on?
If they're following their timeline, that'll still be on, right?
And so it's going to be, it says the Town of Harwich, 732 Main Street.
Right, which is right here. So if you have concerns about the execution of the project, I think the best thing is to go to Town Administrator downstairs at the end of the building, and they will have more specific information about the actual, moving trucks and land and what have you, and what have you.
So who would I see, the Town Administrator?
I would first go to the Town Administrator's office and see if you have questions, you can ask the assistant town administrator, right? Temporarily?
It's the interim town
Interim,
administrator,
excuse
but
me.
if you stay a few moments, I can also provide information
Oh,
and give you
okay.
my
All right, thank
contact
you.
information so that we can help you and make sure that you're at the correct meeting, at the right time,
Because that was our
and
fault.
the correct board as well.
Okay, great.
So,
So I was at the Sisson
Right.
Road, I ran into Ed McManus, and he's the one that found that the meeting was here for me. Anyway,
Well, thank you for coming this evening. I'm sorry we couldn't help you more than just kind of
okay.
that way, but appreciate you coming out.
When you get home, go check on the address. and Direction.
Well, that's a matter for the attorneys, and I won't say any more than that. right?
Okay, I'll
please
wait.
stay and
Yeah, all right,
I'll
thank you.
help you out as much as I can. In the other items on the agenda,
Right.
we will be doing a public meeting for the hazard mitigation plan. I will provide a public meeting notice when we schedule that, probably within the next 3 weeks. And in your packet also is a letter from the Cape Cod Commission relative to the earlier project for 246 Queen Anne Road. The applicant worked with the DRI coordinator over at the Cape Cod Commission to minimize their site plan so that they did not trigger a mandatory referral. And I believe there's also a site plan in that letter, just for our reference. So when we go forward, we will work with the applicant to that effect.
On this one, okay.
Yes, and Matt Sutphin also provided his letter of public correspondence, and we do frequently get letters and notices from other towns. I just wanted to make everyone aware that if you're ever interested in the activities of the abutting towns, we have a very thick packet in the planning department that you're more than welcome to take a look at. But I just wanted to make sure that any public correspondence that we're receiving is getting to the board and is available for your review.
Well, very good. Do we have any other business before the board? Ann?
Can I request, since it's starting, that if we need funds, which we might, capital outlay starting, that if we need a consultant, we've talked about this in the past, that we get those funds in front of the administrator?
Yes, and to your point, I am working with the interim town administrator to do a scope of work for updating the town zoning map.
Great.
And so
Which would
that will
require
also be
money.
That will be part of the capital outlay budget for this year.
I have done my capital outlay business, thank you.
Yes. Thank you for that reminder. It's helpful,
Okay.
and I appreciate it.
There might be, you might want to consider a rider on that, because I think there's been discussion with Tony and Brian with regard to a task group, a working group between ZBA, planning, and conceivably historic.
Okay.
Just as a kind of an examination of the coherence and continuity of the language in our code.
Okay. We, and I think I've made this, I've mentioned this before, that I am working with administration to outline steps going forward to create a working committee
Right.
to that end.
Right.
To evaluate, to have an active committee evaluating zoning.
Right.
Yes.
So my only thought is that if we're burdening your office with additional legal work, I was thinking it might be worth having as a consultant available for kind of keyhole surgery, looking at, the viability of a smaller, step through, not a long, thing. And something that could then be independent of what KP is doing, so we'd get like a third party or a second opinion kind of a thing that could then be submitted. So, and I know that ZBA has been talking about that too, so.
Yes, and I've been.
I don't know if that's putting the cart before the horse, but I just wanted to put it
No,
out there.
no,
Because if this is
it's
a
in
funding thing-
tandem, so I think this is all relative, and so we're still, there are some details that would need to be worked out in terms of the makeup of the working group.
Right.
And then also when it is appropriate to bring in an outside consultant,
Right.
I haven't dipped my toe in that realm just yet.
Right.
But there are, from time to time, I wouldn't be surprised if we do need some either legal or outside assistance, and also looking at best practices from other communities in
Correct.
terms of what has worked, what hasn't,
Right,
and, what would be most appropriate for the town of Harwich.
right.
With the aim is there's certain pieces of the bylaws that we would consider low-hanging fruit and go for revisions
Right.
for the next town meeting in May.
Yes, and my anticipation is that this working group should really be over the next several years.
Yeah,
And
started.
active, and just because and I'll only speak for myself, I look at zoning as a living, breathing document, and to really make sure that it's being effectively utilized, we want to make sure that that we evaluate it from time to time, and what's working, what isn't, and then also when there are other opportunities to change regulations, that the
Right.
town's prepared to do that.
Noted, and that the local comprehensive plan, the action section in the back is loaded with things that would be in that field.
Correct.
And insofar as my understanding with CBA is that the low-hanging fruit that we're talking about for immediate action involves things where the code of the town of Harwich is actually contravenes existing statutory law on the Commonwealth level.
Correct.
So we shouldn't be doing, these are like kind of trapdoors that we need to kind of seal up.
Yeah.
And I think they were talking about 2 or 3 things, and I think there was something else about common sense things about impermeable surfaces and, certain ratios that are, probably can be discussed. I don't know whether or not they'll make it to the next, town meeting or not, but some of them are just, the stuff that they're already dealing with on a routine basis.
That we could just clean
That
up.
come up again and again.
Yeah. Take up a lot of
So,
time.
Yes.
Would the output or the work product of this group be a document that would make recommendations to the select board? Because I don't see anything that, in the code that gives us the authority to unilaterally go out and
Oh, no, yeah.
do this
no.
work.
We would
No,
have to, this would have to go through public hearing, be submitted to the select board, and then get voted, and then go to the finance committee, and then essentially be put on a warrant article that gets voted at town hall before or a town meeting before it gets accepted, right? I mean, roughly, is that?
Yeah.
Yes, we would take, to your point, Harry, we wouldn't do anything without, that's not transparent. We want to make sure that all appropriate boards are informed.
Right.
And then there is a formal process when you do any zoning regulations, that it does go through the planning board for public hearing. Once that happens, there's a recommendation to select board, to the FinCom, and then on to the warrant for annual town meeting.
Then it goes to the state, and then it comes back
Yeah, and then it
down.
comes
Yes.
back.
So it's a long loop, but, my thought is that some of these things are obviously just pruning.
My understanding of when we've done this work in the past, it has been at the direction of the select board. So now it sounds like it's sort of,
We've done this before. In the last 5, 10 years, we've probably done it, 3 times.
well,
Roughly.
I've been here twice when it's happened, and there were instructions that were given to us from the select board about what they wanted the output to be.
Right.
And it looks like what you're talking about is going in the other direction, creating the output and then going to the select board. And it just seems like that could cause problems to me.
Well, this is actually the bottom-up method of percolating from
Correct.
the citizens' land use law conflict with actual landowners. So this is the direction, instead of it's actually, I would think it's a little more healthier for our civic hygiene to have conflicts that are emerging that get resolved as we see a pattern, instead of saying, we have a pattern that we're observing up top and we want you to fix it. So it works,
Both ways.
both directions.
It just seems to me that if we're not given that authority by the town code, then we run the risk of, at some point, getting into a conflict. I don't see anything that I've read in the town code, and I could read it over again, that says that that this board just sort of spontaneously generates projects for itself, and then, you know.
We did the West Harwich Special District. We did the Special District downtown. We did the Sixth Ponds District. And this is what,
I'm not saying the work isn't appropriate, but I'm just saying it isn't appropriate for this board.
Who starts it, is
But there
what you're
is,
saying?
I mean, yeah, there's a hierarchy, there's a pecking order, and I believe that if we don't observe our place in that pecking order, we run the risk of having a problem down the road. That's all.
Christine.
And Harry, just to really emphasize that this is not intended to circumvent anyone's authority in any way. Rather, I agree with Duncan. This is from a ground-up perspective with getting input from several town boards as well as town hall staff. I will say that Mass General Law does empower planning boards to work on zoning bylaws. We are responsible for coming up with regulations and making recommendations to not only our chief elected officials, the select board, but also at town meeting. And so we will take every step that is appropriate, and nothing, we won't be taking any steps that we're looking to be deceitful in any way.
Okay, I'm not
Not deceitful, that's a
suggesting,
bad word.
but-
Not to imply you were suggesting that. We will make every step to make sure that this is collaborative and that the that the select board are informed. I am working with the interim town administrator to come up with a working group, and
Okay.
to have
They
the
would be all
support of
with us.
administration so that there's open communication.
I've been here, twice when we've done that work so far. Or basically drafting
Alert.
language for amendments or alterations, edits to the code. So I get that, but I just remember the process being, we were given marching orders and told what to do, and we did the work, which is, fine. It just seems like this is different, and so.
well, just as a little bit of background on this, beginning in 2015 and 2016, Charlene had a running list, maybe 14 or 15 items. That was subsequently updated by John Eidman when he came in, I want to say 2020, 2021, something like that. And he provided a red line document of the
He
whole
did.
code.
Yeah.
And so this was something that just got stalled out during COVID. So this is something that has been discussed on and on with this board and ZBA for 9 years. So we're well overdue, and to your point, I think, Christine, that it's something that, as a living document, it has to reflect the demands, the macroeconomic circumstances, and then also kind of the culture of building that we've got going on. There's been shifts, tectonic shifts in, land use patterns, so that's us. If we don't track it, the select board is busy in the executive function, so. All right, do we have anything else before the board? I'd entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Unanimous? Thank you,